Hello and welcome to part 33 of my Japanese for Beginners series. In this lesson, we are going to cover how to describe a noun with verbs instead of with adjectives. This lesson corresponds with page 213 of the Genki Volume 1 textbook, but don't worry, even if you don't have the textbook, you will still be able to follow along. では始めましょう。Much earlier in the series, we covered how to use adjectives in Japanese, and it's very basic. Just like in English, you put the adjective before the noun. So, otoko no ko is a boy. If you wanted to say a clever, smart boy, you would just say kashikoi otoko no ko. And the only weird thing about Japanese adjectives is there are e adjectives and na adjectives, and if it is a na adjective, you just have to make sure to put the na between the adjective and the noun that the adjective is describing. Pretty straightforward. So what I'm going to do is going to seem weird, but it will make sense in a couple minutes, all right? So I'm going to go over some adjectives in Japanese and some nouns following those adjectives, but I'm going to translate them in what is going to sound a little strange, all right? Akai hana, a flower that is red. Kantan na testo, a test that is easy. Yasashii hito, a person who is kind. Fushigi na hon, a book that is mysterious. So keep your brain in that mindset, like exactly the way I was translating all of those. And now tell me what this means. Miteru hito. So if you guess that it means the person or people who are looking, watching, or seeing, then you are correct. Now keep your brain still in that mindset and see if you can figure out what this means. この動画を見てる人. So この動画 is our object that our verb is doing something to. So この動画, this video, を見てる人. So the person or persons who are watching this video. That's you. So that's it. Now you know how to use verbs to describe nouns. You basically just put a verb before a noun to describe it. In English, we would say noun who is verb or noun that is verb. But in Japanese, it's actually a lot simpler. You just go verb, noun. And in those examples that I gave you just now, it was like the present participle tense of the verb, miteru, miteiru. It is not like the just miru or mita. But guess what? You can use verbs in other conjugations to describe nouns, and then the translation will be a little bit different. So here's an example of just a dictionary form verb. 本を読む学生. So 本を読む is to read a book, or will read a book, but it's not is reading a book. 学生 is student, so the student who reads books, or students who read books, basically. Not the student or students who are currently reading books. We're talking about just students who read books in general. And you can also use verbs in past tense like this. 恋に落ちたネズミ. So nezumi is a mouse or a rat. 恋に落ちた is fell in love. So 恋に落ちたネズミ is the mouse or rat who fell in love. So guess what? You can also use more complicated adjectives, like adjectives that are actually phrases to describe nouns. And here are some examples. So take this, 頭がいい人. 頭がいい, you might remember from a couple lessons ago, is just smart, but it means like a head that is good, smart. 人, so a person who is smart, a smart person or a person who is smart. Or you could say 音楽が好きな女性. So 女性 is lady, and then 音楽が好き is likes music. And since 好き is a na adjective, you have to go na. So 音楽が好きな女性 is a woman or women who likes music. So here are some examples of some enhanced sentences. あそこで走ってる子が私の娘です. So 子が or この子が私の娘です is like this child is my daughter. But we're having a lot of other words to describe this daughter now. All of the stuff that comes before 子. So あそこで走ってる is running over there. 子. So the girl who is running over there is my daughter. 昨日見たアニメは面白かったね. So 昨日 yesterday 見たアニメ So the anime that was seen or the anime we saw, the anime I saw, there's no pronouns. So as for the anime that we saw yesterday, 面白かったね, it was interesting, huh? Or so that anime we saw yesterday sure was good. 毎日勉強する学生が偉いです. So 学生が偉いです is just like students are admirable. That's kind of what erai means. It means a lot of different things. It means like you're a good boy, erai, or a good girl. Yeah, it's kind of like good, virtuous, hardworking, admirable, that kind of adjective. But we are adding some more words to describe the gakusei. So 毎日勉強する. So to study every day, gakusei. So students who study every day are admirable, commendable. I take my hat off to them. 猫が好きな人が So our subject is people who like cats. が毎日 every day 猫の動画を見てます. Watching videos of cats. So people who like cats watch cat videos every day. That is true. And now we have arrived at the review section of this video. I have timestamps of all of the phrases that I'm going to repeat now in the video description below and in a pinned comment at the top of the comment section. Check out the video description to also find more links to other Japanese educators, specifically the native ones. The sentences that I'm giving for you are an okay guide for beginners of Japanese whose ears maybe aren't quite in tune with the sounds of the Japanese language, but my accent is not perfect, so if you really want better, more native-y instruction, learn from a native, and there are plenty of good channels in the video description below. この動画を見てる人、本を読む学生、恋に落ちたネズミ、頭がいい人、音楽が好きな女性、あそこで走ってる子が私の娘です。昨日見たアニメは面白かったね。毎日勉強する学生が偉いです。猫が好きな人が毎日猫の動画を見ています。Thanks for watching! In the next lesson, we are going to cover mo and mara to be able to express if you have already done something or have not yet done something. Thank you to all the patrons who support this and the other series on this channel. And hey, if you thought that this video was a little too easy, I have some playlists floating next to my head where you learn Japanese through anime songs or you learn Japanese through episodes of Sailor Moon translated one word at a time. But if this was just the right pace for you, I hope to see you in the next part. Mata ne!